morning. We are at Beynac and we just had to clean the room, which was kind of a weird thing to do in our hotel at Les Eyzies. It was super different in that sense where we didn't know we had to do that until we were there and inside the room, and then it actually told us that we had to clean the room. There's like instructions, so we're actually an hour and a half kind of behind right now. This is a real quick stop at a castle town. There is a castle on top of this mountain and a church, and the whole idea is that it's a great place for defense. It's also a pretty big river right behind me. You can get a pretty good view of both. It is quite lovely, quite picturesque. I do believe that it's worth stopping at for a longer amount of time. Because we don't have the time though, we're just stopping here for like 10-15 minutes, walking around, and then we're going to the next town over, which we're just following the river. And whew, got a sneeze stuck in my nose. But we're just gonna be going from one to another to another to another. That's how this beginning part is, because we actually found a cool cave that Mom wants to go to. So that'll be pretty awesome. Looking forward to it. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment. And welcome back. I am currently walking through downtown Sarlat-la-Canéda. It is a town that's famous for foie gras, and we're definitely going to get some foie gras while we're here. We're actually walking by all these cute little cafes and stuff. It's really pretty. It's just such a picturesque town. I keep repeating myself. I know I'm saying that about everywhere. Maybe it is a little bit of a culture shock that's with it, but I mean, I think pretty is pretty. And rustic, perhaps? Maybe that's the word. It is a little older as well. I think there's an Aston Martin in front of me. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It is super, super pretty. And out of all the towns we've been to, this one probably has some of the most people in it so far. But we just parked, and I walked maybe about 100 meters from where the car is. I'm super close to it. But yeah, this is great so far. Photographer's paradise, so to say. Anyhow, I'll take a few more photos, and I'm gonna wait for Mom and Lynn here, and we'll get moving from here. See you in a moment. All right, and I don't know how all this is going to come out because I'm very backlit right now. But I am walking down on the other side of, I'm trying to remember the name of the church, something Mary, but I went up and over a hill behind it, and we were just inside of the marché that's inside of the church. And we bought some foie gras. I'm very much looking forward to eating it. Now, like everywhere you look here, it's just another photo upon photo. Okay, I'm headed the right way, but it's just photo upon photo. It is just so picturesque here. And again, I say it, and I know it's just one of those things because I'm a tourist, I feel. Like when I'm in San Francisco and I'm walking through, I don't really ever feel that way, which is pretty funny. But here, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's, Europe where all the history is. I think it's just amazing to see all these crazy castles. It's just, the construction's just amazing. Anyhow, we're going to be headed towards the next site now, and we might actually be getting lunch pretty shortly here, so we'll check back in a moment. All right, and we are at the Gouffre de Padirac. I am totally butchering that name, I know, but it's warm and I have no idea how to say it anyways. I'll just put the name on the screen and we'll go with that. We left Sarlat-la-Canéda actually a while ago now, almost 2 hours ago. It took about an hour and a half to get here, and I just kind of wanted to finish up. We went to go get lunch at a suggested place called Les Eyzies, I believe it was called. And Lynn and I both got the regular menu off of la carte, as they say, and Mom got the menu of the day. So what that consisted of was Lynn and I both were able to get foie gras, which I'm quite fond of, and Lynn has never had before actually. And then we both got salads with a type of meat. I got duck and Lynn got pork. And Mom was able to get some pork as well. So it was actually really, really nice and quite a great suggestion. Like, it was really awesome that both Mom and Lynn were able to try foie gras for the first time. It's like, it is delicious. I love that stuff. So we actually bought a bunch of stuff as well. That being said, we also then went, I don't know if I discussed going to the fountain and then going to where the 3 geese are, and that's super important because this town is actually very famous for foie gras, and they actually have 2 types. They have duck and goose foie gras, so we actually bought both. They are also famous for truffles, so we got a couple of bottles of truffles as well. Like, we went all out. And then I promised some friends back home that I'd buy bottles of wine, and it just so happened that this town had the exact wine that I was looking for from a chateau. I don't know if it's a local chateau or not, but I do know that the wine is good. The year ends in a 6, so I should be okay if you follow the old French superstition of never buying a wine whose year ends at a 7. I was looking at a 2013 originally, but decided that with the deal that they had going on for the 2016, I just grabbed that and we'd be none the wiser. I've actually already posted it back to California. Hopefully it makes it in one piece, knock on wood. It is 6 bottles, so hopefully I get 6 bottles when I get back home. But we'll see what happens. And customs, everything has already been paid for on it, as well as taxes, so it's not a duty-free. That being said, I still plan on buying more wines at the duty-free at CDG on the way home. But yeah, we're just waiting right now. We got here at about 4 o'clock, and the earliest tickets they had available for the Padirac was 5 o'clock, so that's what Mom bought. So it was 5 o'clock, so we're just waiting around. They told us to get in line at 4:40 or 4:50 to wait for the entrance. So that's what we're doing. I'm here at the car dropping my pack right now, and I'm probably gonna have a sip of coffee, which I have in the car. And yeah, that's about it. So we will check back in when things change, maybe on the way down, hopefully. Anyhow, back in a moment. All right, and we have just come back out of the caves. And it was amazing. It was really, really, really massive. Like, I don't think the photos or the video will do it any justice. And the amount of walking that there is when they're like, it's gonna take an hour and a half. Half an hour of that is definitely on a boat, which is kind of cool that they include that in the ticket for this place. So there is a hike and then a boat ride to another hike to where you take a loop path and come back. And the entire thing is just so fantastic. Like, at the deepest of the river, or I don't even know what to call the water area that you take the boat in, is 6 meters, and the shallowest is a half a meter. And the cavern goes as high as 75 meters at points above you, and there are areas that are actually even taller than that, which that's just nuts. But you walk along, you could see this all these different lakes. The one that you come up to first is the most amazing. Like, it's just, I don't know why I don't remember its name, but I don't know why this one doesn't have the name of Lake Superior, which another little, like, a small lake on top of a series of stairs. that you take up. I would also warn that you're definitely going to get wet. It's almost as if it's raining in there while you're walking through. And yeah, overall, it's a great time. It was good, really good find. It was a lot of fun, and we spent. It's 7 o'clock now, so we spent 2 hours in there, but everything that we saw was just so pretty. I couldn't believe how majestic it was, and it was really, really large. It's definitely different. Yeah, Lynn just said it was different than the caves in California, and I agree wholeheartedly. It was definitely different. Anyhow, both Lynn and Mom have gotten out of the restroom, and I'm sure we're all hungry and ready for dinner. So we got to get to our next spot. Yeah, we'll check back in a moment here. All right, and we are at our Hotel de Lion, I believe it is, the Lion Hotel, and we've checked in officially. I actually don't remember what the last thing. I think the last thing we were at was at that photo point overlooking Rocamadour, but I don't think I actually spoke about it. Yeah, okay. The last time that I checked in, we were still at the Padirac, which was that huge cave that was amazing. After that, we actually came over to a photo point overlooking Rocamadour, which is a three-tiered city, meaning that there's it's on the edge of a cliff, and there's part of the city on the top of the cliff, part of the city on the middle of the cliff, and part of the city at the bottom of the cliff. And that was pretty neat. We had dinner at Cazenac, I think that's how it's pronounced. And when we went there, it was actually extremely affordable. I got a full menu for 15 euros about, which included a starter of foie gras, a main of a duck leg, or a duck quarter rather, and that came with fries and a salad. And I finished that off with a panna cotta. Yes. It was a panna cotta dessert topped with a strawberry jelly, and that was delicious as well. We also got a glass of house red, or not a glass but a carafe of house red, and that was great. And Lynn got a terrine, right? Lynn, you got a terrine? Tartine. Lynn got a tartine, which kind of looks like a pizza, and that came with a large salad as well. So Lynn's arguing that it looks more like an avocado toast, which I can't argue. It does look similar to that as well. After that, I actually walked a little bit of the town to get some night shots because we got here so late and had dinner quite late, and we were worried that the whole place was going to be closed, like Les Eyzies was, where we almost didn't have dinner that night. But after walking there, came back to the hotel, and here I am. So why don't we go ahead and do a room tour real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we are on the first level, which means you have to go up a flight of stairs, and you come down this hall to our room 106. It's just a classic key, which is kind of cool. And then before we go in, I just want to show we do have this cool little area right off to the side over here with a distiller. And unfortunately, that's only a fire exit, but that's an awesome looking garden. We saw it during the day. So, fire hydrant. And we enter the room. And after entering the room, we have the shower. Lynn and Mom have already showered and have gotten ready. I spent quite a while outside, like I was saying just now. And then I kind of like this system of having a separate toilet, so that's pretty awesome. And then as we enter into the main room, we have the closet, a table, place for luggage, and then we have the two beds, the twin and the single. And then we have a full mirror, a painting. Oh, and then the TV is right up there. We do have a heater. It's right behind Lynn. But other than that, there's no air conditioner. All right, let me get this refixed or resorted so that it's looking at me and I could finish off today. All right, and welcome back. That was the room tour, and I am pretty dead beat. Want to take a shower. I got to move all the stuff off the memory card onto the hard drives. Lynn mentioned at the very end of that room tour that aside from the fact that we don't have an air conditioner, we could always just open the windows. It might get windy here. It's in the middle of a valley. Like I said, it's a cliffside town, and on the other side is actually another cliff. So, one really interesting thing right now, as I was walking around at night, is because the town is on one side and there's only a road on the other side. The other side's not lit at all, and it's pitch black. It's really interesting to see the dichotomy of like nothing living over or no humans living over on one side of the river or one side of the valley, and humans living on the other side of the valley. Like, how does that work? And so it shows how many lights there are, and the whole castle is lit up. So maybe I'll be able to throw up some photos that I took if they came out, but I actually didn't take any video because it was too dark outside. So anyhow, that does it for this day, and it's kind of crazy to think we traveled quite a bit today, right? From Les Eyzies to Rocamadour. Where were we before? Les Eyzies to Sarlat, and then Rocamadour. Beynac.
Yeah, Beynac-et-Cazenac.
Yeah.
Cazenac.
So, well, we got a good tour of this southern part of France, and tomorrow is Carcassonne, which I am super excited for. Not only because it's the name of a board game that I've played, but because the town itself looks amazing. Anyhow, good night.